No
All
worries, no
right.
worries.
Well, I guess we should try question two. Now, guys, I'm very much enjoying this, by the way. But if we run over, we'll continue next week. So
Mhm.
we'll do as much as we can. All right, question two. This is a crazy long question. Oh, God. All right, here we go. How do you think? Okay, let me just signpost this. Question two. How do you think the newly added Pokemon will compare to those from previous generations in terms of design and visual representation? Do you expect there to be any noticeable differences in the design choices between the Japanese and US or in the Western version? So it sounds like the question we already answered, right? Because unless there are more Pokemon, Game Done, are there more Pokemon that we haven't covered?
Mm, the DLC will have new Pokemon, so
Uh,
Pokemon within the region.
so far we only
They'll be
seen.
bring back classic Pokemon. There'll
Okay.
be a handful of new ones, but like the old DLC, it'll be, hey, we'll go into this region, and here are a bunch of old Pokemon that you're familiar with.
In that case, why don't we expand on talking about the differences between the old Pokemon and the new Pokemon coming out? Dan, do you want to have a go?
Um, I think one of the things that when you're playing competitive Pokemon, you really have to be careful with is their abilities. In the early Pokemon, battling was all about speed because
Mm,
the first generation didn't have separate special stats. It was attack, defense, special, and speed, meaning that the fastest Pokemon hit first, and that was the only thing. So
mm,
the first Pokemon Championship, most teams were the same. There
mm.
was Starmies, yeah, Jolteons, um, because they were objectively the fastest Pokemon. As the game has differentiated, in the second generation, they introduced breeding, men and women, and they started introducing abilities. So these Pokemon have a special innate ability, and that ability became the backbone of Pokemon battling because there's so many clever things you can do when you use an ability. Like in the current meta, in Scarlet Violet battling, there's a Pokemon that automatically steals and swaps item. So you just throw the Pokemon out and it straight away swaps. So you give that Pokemon,
Mm.
give your Pokemon a terrible item, a really, really bad item. And then you go, ha, bomb, haha, you have a bad item now, and I can beat you.
Okay, that's that's pretty crafty.
Yeah, there's a really evil strategy with some ghost type. If you use Gengar and Ghost or Haunter, there is a strategy with them that is very mean. It's very cruel because there's an attack that can make the opponent's moves, all of the moves, normal type. But normal doesn't hurt Ghost. So
Oh,
you
wow.
use Pokemon ability to trap them so they can't switch out. You turn all their attacks normal, and then they can't hurt you. There's nothing they can do to hurt you.
Damn.
So in the DLC, that when they introduce old Pokemon, I'm interested in their abilities. What abilities will these Pokemon have? Because that will be the whether they're useful in battling.
Mm, wow, that's a very interesting to consider. All right, hold on. Before I ask my follow-up question, Professor Suzuka, did you have any comments?
So, uh, the Pokemon Scarlet Violet,
Hmm.
it's added a new Pokemon. Its name's Paradox Pokemon.
Oh,
So,
sorry, Dan, can you pull up a picture?
Yeah,
uh,
sure.
Oh, do you have one,
thank
Suzuka?
you, thank
Oh,
you very
Dan,
much.
Dan,
So,
yeah. Sorry, you'll be the picture guy, Dan. Sorry.
yeah.
Thanks.
So future Pokemons like Mechanic and Robot
Uh-huh.
Pokemon, or so old, or not old, but so yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, they're like ancient versions or super modern?
Yes, super modern
Hmm,
future mecha Pokemon.
I see. So these are mechanical.
Yes,
Some are mechanical.
Some I
mechanical.
see. Thanks for the picture, Dan.
I don't.
Tell you what, let me find you a better one.
Yes. So I think the new download content add the paradox Pokemon. I'm interested in the new type Pokemon.
Interesting. These new types. I wonder. So Dan, in fact, and Professor Suzuka, sound like are you saying that the new types would interact in new ways to older Pokemon?
Kind of. It's they are classic Pokemon, but they seem to be Pokemon from antiquity. So they're like prehistoric versions of Pokemon. And in the Pokemon Scarlet, and in because you're in the story, you're going into the past. And in Violet, you're going into the future. So they're mechanical, they're kind of robotic versions of Pokemon.
That's what's going on. I'm late to this.
Here's a better image. There we go.
Thanks.
So we have, like great tusk versions and, ones with extra tails, wider wings, but then mechanical ones as well. So that's a tire. And even in the Pokédex, it says this is made of rubber.
Right. This is interesting, isn't it? I'm looking forward to seeing the fights and how they pan out, especially in competitive levels.
Well, yeah, they don't act like their normal Pokemon. They have their different abilities. They have different attacks. It's using a paradox Pokemon. They tend to be much stronger, and alternate versions of Pokemon, things like Mega Evolutions and Terrestrializations, really shaking up the game. But these paradox Pokemon are really fun. They're great.
Yeah, that one in the middle with the those detached wings. This one. It reminds me of something from Star Fox. Do you remember? Yeah, you were able to fly, and I think there were these like these trapezoids or whatnot. These little polygons that would just come to the edge of a ship. Actually, Professor Suzuka, do you know Star Fox?
Yes, I know, but only Smash Bros.
Ah, right. In the game, there are some ships that look like this.
And Wolf.
Oh, yeah, it looks like the ships from the Star Fox games to me. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I even want to. I even want to see this in an anime. I'd love to see how they move. That would be very interesting. Yeah. My God, guys, for sure. My God. All right, guys. I guess we could jump to the third question. Oh, and by the way, one thing we didn't address is the difference between the West and the East. What do you think, Dan? Do you think the experience in the West and the East would be significantly different?
In the DLC? I think it's not. I imagine Japanese players will be happy to see a Japanese representation in Pokemon again. I think, it's Pokemon for a long time now has been France and America and Britain. I'm British. We got our own Pokemon, Sword and Shield. Yeah,
Yes.
I'm quite happy with that. I liked all the little references to parts of England. That was cute. But Japan was where Pokemon started.
Yeah.
It laid the foundation. So going back and the building upon that, that's a nice touch.
Super.
I am interested in where this DLC will be. What part of Japan? Because we've had Kanto and Johto. We've had Hokkaido.
Yes.
We've had, Okinawa, the tropical islands. All of that has been done. So where's Teal Mask going to be?
Maybe on the tectonic plates.
It sounds like it's going to be a quiet place, like not a city. It's out in the countryside. It says orchards, lots of apple trees and rice fields, and a local festival. So,
well, definitely not the tectonic plates. Yeah. Super. All right. By the way, if there are any like translations that you want to give us, Professor Suzuka, please make sure to include them in your answers because we'd love to know the audiences who speak English would love to know the Japanese names of things that are different from what we know.
So
Oh, go on.
new Pokemon
Sure. If you
to Japanese to English.
yeah. Do you for example, the one we just went over?
Oh, so recently I I'm interested in so the Pokemon number is 971.
Okay.
So new Pokemons. It is dog.
Dog type.
Dog.
Do you have a picture for
It's
us?
a ghost dog.
Yes, dog.
In English,
And ghost,
graveyard.
ghost. It's
So
very
what's
cute.
the Japanese name and the Western name?
Japanese name
Ah,
Bocchi.
Bocchi.
Bocchi. It has two means. So first
Okay.
one, it is grave. Bocchi.
Grade, like
So
it's like rank?
not grade.
Oh, gray color.
Grave.
Oh, grave. Like,
Grave.
Yes.
all right. I got it. Yes, I can see.
And and the second means so like pochi. Pochi means so
Like a dog?
Japanese
Pucci?
pochi.
Bocchi, the name for Inu?
Pochi. Yes, its name. So Japanese famous dog. For Japanese.
Okay.
So no popular name.
Ah,
Dog. Popular name.
of dog.
Oh, popular. Oh,
Popular.
thank you. Yeah,
Yes.
so yeah, I think in the West we have a name called Pooch, Poochie.
So
Yeah.
pochi. So many Japanese people
Call
have
it-
dog, so it's named Pochi.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we know Poochie. It's like, Dan, remember The Simpsons, the Itchy and Scratchy had a new character, Poochie.
That I do. But
Yeah.
Poochie's a pretty popular name for dogs in England, in America, and apparently in Japan as well. But not the only one. When you said Pochi, that was
Pochi.
like a bit of a
Japanese.
bell in my head. Nintendo has a Pochi.
Oh, a character?
Nintendo has
Yeah, it has the
Pochi.
character Pochi.
If you can share that too. This is a great interview, man. Do you know
Wow.
this character, Professor?
No.
No.
Super.
What's title?
The game is called
Yoshi.
Poochie. Ah,
From
cool.
Yoshi's Woolly World.
Wow.
Dog. He's like a
Pochi.
fluffy dog from Yoshi's games.
Oh, cool.
It's dog.
It's
Is
a
it
dog.
dog?
It's a cute dog.
Yeah,
Mm,
yeah.
He
This is
helps you in the
fantastic.
level. But his name is Pochi, and I always thought
Pochi.
Wait, is it Poochie or
like
Pochi?
Poochie, like
Po-
Pochi.
I see. I think
apparently-
Japan say Pochi a lot more. I've heard it. Do you know and Studio Ghibli movie called Yamada? My neighbors, the Yamadas. There's a
my neighbor Yamada.
Yamadas. Yeah, they have a pet dog called Pochi.
Really?
Yeah. So I think that word, like you said, Suzuka, is very popular in Japan.
Yeah.
But I think some Japanese words they switch the vowel sounds. They use Pochi, we use Puchi. I think that's what's going on. And we have a double meaning with Bocchi here,
Yeah.
meaning grave.
So Pochi's English name is graveyard.
Graveyard.
Graveyard. So
Graveyard.
Of graveyard.
Yeah, I wonder what's wrong with it.
Greavard.
Yes, that's the one. Yes. Yes, we got it.
I heard the English name is so famous dog
Name.
dog character. So
Oh.
dog character.
You mean the name?
So not name.
Oh, the character.
Character. Not
Sorry. Please continue.
Named after is it named after a famous dog?
It's like Lassie or something, maybe.
so-
But I'm putting words in your mouth. Sorry, Suzuka, Professor.
Graveyard.
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 Because it sounds more like graveyard.
Mm.
Bard. Trying to think of a dog that has
Oh, hold on. Dan, are you saying that the English name is Graveyard? What's the name of the...
the Pokemon. The Pokemon's
Yeah.
name is Graveyard.
Oh, of course, right. Yeah, so it's a play on words.
Yeah,
Graveyard and graveyard.
yeah.
So, but yeah, the name Graveyard,
But
I haven't heard it before.
can you think of a famous dog from media or in the popular culture that has Vard or
Grovard, maybe? Is that making that up there? Saint Bernard. So yeah, well, I guess that'll be our. Well, maybe we can leave it for the audience. The audience can find out and put it in the comments. Maybe
Type of dog.
it's a type, a breed,
Type
a type of dog,
breed. So kind.
a kind of.
I don't know.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna research that and put that in the comments myself. Super, super.
So I heard some others. So maybe America or England.
Mm.
So kind of dog.
All right, I'm gonna look into that. That sounds very interesting. They really put a lot of.
There's been a fair few dog Pokemon.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, the names have escaped me. I've looked at Japanese too much.
Houndour, Growlithe.
Growlithe, yes. Graveyard, no?
Yeah, this is Graveyard. Yeah, he looks like a the dog with the whiskey.
Oh, isn't that the Saint Bernard?
Saint Bernard. Yes,
Yeah.
he looks like Saint Bernard.
Mm.
Bernard. Vard.
Bernard. That's what I was thinking before. Saint, yeah. So I think Professor Suzuka, there's a famous dog type in the West that would help sick people who are feeling sad. They're called Saint Bernard, and the odd there may be what we're dealing with. So it's a very clever, many-layered wordplay name there. So I think that's something that the audience will definitely appreciate. So thank you very much, everyone. We may have time to go to question 4, to be honest. In which case we'll have to do like last time. Professor Dan and we broke the interview into 2 parts. One week we did 4 questions because I think as we get close to 12 o'clock, I'm gonna have to go somewhere. But this is definitely